The big news across the world, right, across the globe right now is US President Trump has dropped the bomb on the world trade. He has announced massive tariff on countries like India, China, Japan, and even the European Union. இப்போ global markets full shock இருக்கு. Stock markets are crashing. Investors are panicking, and the Indian market too got a heavy hit. But wait, it's not all a bad news. The Indian economy has a few strong points that might help us bounce back than others. In this particular video, we'll be talking about the Trump's new tariff plan, how it's shaking up the market, and what it really means for India, number of stocks, and our future. Let's get started into it. Simple, clear, fun. Let's go. Hello, everybody. This is Samvid and welcome to Samvid Money Minds. As I told you in the introduction clipping, we are going to be talking about the Trump's reciprocal tariff. Right. So, the US tariff has actually ignited a global market turmoil, which is a chaos. So, the Trump's reciprocal tariff triggered fears of a global trade war, as I already explained you. Right. So, the Asian markets crashed, wherein the Nikkei 225 was down by 6%. The Hang Seng index was down by 9.4%, and the Shanghai was down by 6.2%, and the Kospi was down by 4.1%. If you don't know about what is the tariff that is implemented, see, just like how in India we have Make in India, wherein we call the foreign countries to invest in our country, set up a manufacturing hub, and produce things produce commodities in our country. Same way, Trump also wanted to do something called Make in America, wherein he wanted to increase the GDP of the country. So he adopted a methodology wherein he would stop imports, right? So that those goods which are imported should automatically be produced in the country. So this is what he aimed at. But this is not a good approach, because just like how in 1930, the same policy was implemented, and of course, you know what it led to. It led to something called Great Depression of 1930. The exact same policy which led to a Great Depression of 1930 is being implemented almost 100 years after by President Donald Trump, right? So the targeting partners are especially European Union, China, Canada, and Japan, wherein China implemented 34% of tariff, India 27% tariff, Japan 24% tariff, the European Union 20% tariff, and UK and others was implemented with a 10% tariff, which is the baseline. So the Trump actually said that these tariffs are aimed at nations which treat the United Nations unfairly in trade, and he also called it a move to rebalance decades of disadvantage, and also the day in which he introduced was called the Liberation Day, right? Okay. So as I told you, the market meltdown wherein S&P 500 was crashed by 10.5%, which is approximately $5 trillion loss. And Nasdaq was crashed by 4.5%. Dow Jones was crashed by 2.7%. The Nikkei 2025, which is in the Asian market, was crashed by 6%. The Hang Seng, which is the index of the Hong Kong, was crashed by 9.4%. Shanghai Composite was crashed by 6.2%, and Kospi was crashed by 4.1%. And of course, the Indian rupee crashed more 50 paise against the dollars, right? So this is the overall impact on the stock market. And also the global economic shock waves are, so the investment banks like JP Morgan or Goldman Sachs say that the recession odds are rising heavily. And as you can see in the screen, the JP Morgan forecast a 60% chance of global recession. And also the US economic growth will drop by 0.9%. The Larry Fink, who is the BlackRock, that particular company, wants the US because it is already in a recession. So this could lead to something called inflation plus economic slowdown, which is also a phenomenon called stagflation, right? And that's what I have put in the screen as the global trade and investment stall could completely freeze, right? And also further, the geopolitical tensions arise, wherein the retaliation, many countries threaten for countermeasures, and China actually has started to implement countermeasures, saying that tariffs violate international trade rules. And the European Union announced a $28 billion counter tariff, and also the Japan declares a national crisis. The European Union criticized the lack of clarity, which remains open to negotiation. Right now, the sector-wise impact or analysis, wherein the jobs. So the sector-wide impact or analysis, the jobs, mainly the manufacturing jobs, can be lost. And especially in sectors like automotive, tech, and agriculture can be the most affected. And the consumer price will likely increase. And in India, the metal manufacturing stands on the top impact level, followed by automobile and components, and mainly information technology, pharmaceuticals, textile manufacturing, and precious stones and ornaments. So this is the order in which the highest affectability to the lowest affectability, right? So these five are the sectors which can be hugely affected in India, right? And long-term consequences can be reshoring or shifting of the manufacturing can be possible. Like if not America, the manufacturing may shift to China or to India, and basically diversify against the whole globe. Right? I'm sorry. So disruption or emergence of disruption of global trade patterns, wherein the global trade patterns can completely be shattered, and also the economic uncertainty can increase, leading to a condition, as I told you, called stagflation, right? So a new economic landscape can be is actually going on, wherein unprecedented or ununderstandable trade policy, uncertainty becomes the new norm, and markets and nations will slowly start to adapt to it. But here's the good news. The impact on India, has a small silver lining in this particular state of uncertainty. So the experts actually remain optimistic due to India's limited global trade exposure, wherein the strong domestic fundamentals and falling oil price and potential rate cuts by the RBI. RBI is going to soon cut the rates for the monetary policy, which we'll of course talk about once the rate comes. Okay, may actually smoothen the impact on the country, on this particular country. So the Nifty 50, the 12-month target is 26,000 points by Anand Rathi, right? This is a uh, investing company. I'm going to share a small graph here where which shows the sector-wise impact of the Trump's tariff, which is especially on 7th April 2025. Right? Just give me a moment. And yeah. Okay. Right. As you can see here, the sector-wise impact, wherein, as I explained you, the metal manufacturing sector is the thing that can be most impacted, and the least impacted can be the precious stone or ornament sector, right? So, the because of the Trump's tariff that was launched recently, the sector-wise impact is can be seen through the graph. Impact on the Indian market that can be seen or is what I'm going to tell you now, which is Sensex and Nifty almost dropped approximately 5% in the middle of the trade season, and recovered a little bit late in the evening of the 7th April, and 14.2 lakh crore investors worth 14.2 lakh crore rupees wiped out, being the third worst in the Indian history, right? So the foreign investors showed a massive pullout of or massive drop of approximately 1.04 billion American dollars, and the domestic investors buying approximately 12,122 crore, showing a local confidence, right? So, and the next thing that I want to talk to you about before concluding the video is that not showing immediate retaliation or response to the Trump as shown by the China and the European Union. It is not imposing a tariff and all. It is actually carefully examining the implication, and the Commerce Department is now reviewing the potential opportunities from the shakeup, right? As any businessman can do, you can, when life gives you lemon, you can make lemonade out of it, right? So India is actually trying to make lemonade out of this lemon of the Trump's tariff, right? So there is ongoing talk with the US for a multi-sectoral bilateral trade agreement with the US. We are going to sign a bilateral trade agreement, right? Before the closure of this particular video, as you know, the AI is actually taking over the entire landscape, and AI could possibly develop in the future, right? So one of the examples is this entire presentation was actually generated by using an AI. Okay, so I have customized Chat GPT to develop something called Samvid Finance GPT, right? Wherein you go and key in a topic. Say, for example, you want to know the economic news of 8th April 2025. So go ahead. So when you go inside Samvid Finance GPT and type in, tell me the economic news of 8th April 2025, it will list the news. And not only that, it will also explain you in simple English so that you can understand the news that has been told you. And of course, you can be updated in the global market. Be updated with the global market and also the economic news, right? So thank you so much for watching this particular video. It was a great time explaining this Trump's tariff. And remember that India also has a silver lining in it. So you can go ahead and start investing and capitalize this opportunity of dip in the global markets, right? So your support almost means everything to me, right? So looking forward to a continued connection. Okay, let's definitely stay in touch. Until then, this is Samvid signing off from Samvid Money Minds. Hoping to meet you soon in another interesting and exciting video. Goodbye and thank you.